Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Angel RIBO. Angel is known as the CEO Confident, an influencer, LinkedIn strategist, international TV host, public speaker, CEO consultant, board member, and philanthropist. Welcome to the show, Angel.
Thank you very much for having me, Gigi. It's really a pleasure. I've really been looking forward to our interaction, our conversation for many months now. So it's really something I wanted to do. And thank you for having me. And obviously, thank you everybody here on LinkedIn and other platforms for listening to us today.
It's an honor to have you here today, Angel. Now, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and where you are from?
Exactly. Everybody knows after listening to me, for a few words and sentences, I'm obviously with a very strong Texan accent. So everybody knows I'm from Texas, right? So I've lived in Texas for 10 years. I'm originally from Barcelona in Spain, and I've had this like international career. Very early on, I learned, in fourth grade, I started learning French and English. In college, I was already the president of an international students association. And in the 90s, after a very, very painful divorce, actually, I decided to move out of Spain forever. Actually, I have not lived in Spain for more than maybe a week, visiting relatives after that. And I, fast forward in 2016, when I decided to quit corporate America and start my own business, I realized that I had helped more than 1,500 CEOs in 33 different countries that had been conducting business throughout my life. And at the same time, I acted upon my life purpose, which is to helping underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using the local resources. So that's in a nutshell what my life is today, Gigi.
Wow, that is incredible. Now, tell us more about International Foundation Wisdom for Kids.
Exactly. So basically, since I arrived in the Americas, that was in 2001, I was working for an American company in London. I asked them to relocate to Latin America, and they said, okay, let's send you to Mexico. And since very early on, I was, traveling all over the Latin American continent. So every single time I was going to work with one of my clients, every single time outside these manufacturing plants, the plants where I was visiting my future clients or my existing clients, there were always kids, always kids that were asking for money, or they would be offering me maybe some products, some gum, some bottles of water, or maybe, hey, senor, we would like to keep your car safe. We would like to wash your windshield while you are inside the plant. And I would always say yes, of course. So one day I realized, oh my God, so I've been so blessed to work for these large corporations and always being in touch with the CEOs and the C-suite of those companies. And at the same time, being in connection with those kids that would always be around me. And in 2015, I had a spiritual experience. I mean, one day I woke up in Mexico City. It was Saturday. It was the March 21st, 2015. And I had this incredible experience. I mean, I had all this, totally in goosebumps and everything. And these images of all those kids that I had seen, images of all these companies and super powerful, men I had negotiated deals and I had closed deals with. And it was very clear to me that I had to do something with that message. For the rest of the day, I was so sensitive that anybody talking to me or saying something to me, I would literally cry like a baby, honestly. So the following day, I flew back from Mexico City to Dallas, and I called actually a friend of mine in Mexico and business partner. I told him, hey, his name is Salvador. Salvador, hey, I had this vision experience yesterday. I don't know how to describe it, but I would like to do this. Would you join me? And he not only joined me, but he also brought his father. So, and actually, us three, we co-founded Wisdom for Kids, which is an international foundation based here in Plano, Texas. Plano is just right north of Dallas in Texas. And then we started to think, how are we going to do it? And the main goal is to try to contribute to make as many kids in Latin America as possible, go from underprivileged to having some sort of entrepreneurial journey, so that and the audience knows, 81 million kids, which is probably 3 times Texas, the population of Texas, 3 times. I mean, imagine that. 81 million kids in Latin America live in poverty, and 22 million of them don't have drinking water at home. Can you imagine not having drinking water? I mean, we're so used to having water. I mean, we don't even know. Sometimes, we get the water bill, right? And did we spend really so much water? We don't realize. I mean, we might even have leaks and we don't know where that water goes. So we just take for granted so many things. And the main goal of our foundation is just to raise awareness for these and many other things that the kids in Latin America are going through, Gigi.
Very inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. Now, tell us more about a time in your life where you experienced an aha moment.
Well, that wasn't a spiritual experience. There was probably it was, now that I think about it, probably it was when I was at one of the Tony Robbins events. I was at the Unleash Your Power Within. And for the first time ever, I had been pretty successful in my career, but I had already moved to the US. I had some successes already in Latin America and in Europe. And he said something that really struck me. And I mean, I didn't know why. I mean, it was in front of my nose, right? And I had never thought about it, which was my future wealth would always be proportionate to the amount of people I would be able to help. I'm going to repeat that. Okay, so the amount of wealth or prosperity of abundance I would ever have in my life or generate in my life would be always proportionate to the amount of people I would be able to help. Then I realized, oh my God, so that's why I was so successful at some point in time, maybe because I was helping so many people. And literally, I was working hard and hard and hard and smart and hard and trying to help as many people as possible. Like in 2008 and 2009, when we had this crisis, worldwide, and I had under my responsibility, 150 families. I mean, 150 families literally depended on the level of success I was going to make. So if I was not able to help them generate, X millions of dollars of revenue, those were the people reporting to me directly or people that we were, generating business with, unless I was able to help them with generating that amount of money, selling with them, along with them, they would be, in jeopardy, because I mean, they were relying on that money, on those commissions I was helping them to generate. So, you always realize that, it's funny how you have to go to specific places literally outside where you typically are in order to realize very important ideas and aspects of your life. You have to actually go to, and in this case, if you've ever gone to or been to a Tony Robbins event, he does it so well. I mean, he's the master of creating an experience, the master of creating an environment for transformation. Right there, transformation. And I remember that, I mean, when I came back from this 5 days event, the Tony Robbins Unleash Your Power Within event, by the way, I don't have any affiliate link or nothing. I just answering your question. He's able to create a space in which real transformation happens during those days. And when I came back home, actually, my wife told me for many days, hey, Angel, what happened to you? What happened to you? What's going on? Really, I mean, it was so powerful. I would, when I now coach, CEOs and business owners and entrepreneurs, very often I tell them, hey, like, try to break, out from where you are today. Take some hours, take some days off, and try to think. I mean, it's never too late. It's never too late to reflect about what you have done with your life, what you're doing with your life, the people that you are helping, and the impact that you're making in this world. And if you can change things in order to make it better. And so that's why I think that we always have, every single moment in our lives, we have this possibility of stopping and breathe in change and transformation if we want to, Gigi.
I love it. Now, what is your why that keeps you going, Angel?
Yeah, I think that, well, my mission, I think that I am really an unstoppable divine force that brings connection to the unconnected by uplifting their energy and empowering their awareness. Okay, so that sounds like a little bit complicated, but this is really who I am, right? This is really who I think I am. And with this, I mean, you probably have realized I'm a kind of upbeat guy, and we were, making jokes before the show and everything. I think that this passion sometimes can be infectious, can be contagiate people with this passion. And I think this is one of my roles in my life. And I think this is exactly what keeps me connected, which keeps me in my journey, trying to connect people all the time, trying to connect people with who they really are, with the real missions, with those messages that they really want to convey. Just today, I was doing I was having a conversation with an incredible individual that has done everything in the financial industry, and I was just having a very honest conversation, and we were supposed to have a 15-minute conversation. We've ended up having almost have 1 hour and a half of conversation, just because we connected to the human level and we realized that we had very similar points of view. And then the conversation was not, I mean, we haven't pitched anything, or he hasn't pitched anything to me. We're just having a very honest conversation from human being to human being on how we could convey this very powerful message to try to help as many people as possible. Because at the end of the day, we are here to help people. We are here, and he's going to do it, from his financial incredible background and history. And I do it every single day with my, business development journey, and with my, nonprofit and charity work that I do since 2017. At the end of the day, it's like you, Gigi. You have an incredible, everything that has happened into your life, in your life, there was a reason for that. And this makes you totally unique. Every single time you talk to someone, you bring that experience of yours, and that opens the hearts of everybody around you listening to you. And that's the incredible mission that you have. And we all have this mission. Obviously, it takes some time. I stopped working in corporate America in 2016, and I wasn't that my self-esteem wasn't that nice as it is today. That big, because it takes some time from the moment in which you start your journey until you feel confident enough to share it. Because we always think, that we're not adequate, right? Maybe our story is just story of pain. Who will really care about our story of pain and suffering? And, but in reality, this just happened to realize who we really are. Is that how you manage your specific story, how I manage my specific story, that eventually we'll be able to help others. And that's why it's so clear to me that I'm here to connect the unconnected. And guess what? For the last 14 to 16 months, how many people are unconnected that weren't unconnected as they are unconnected today? You see that every day, Gigi, because you're all over the place all the time. You talk to people, you interact with people. How many people are in need, desperate, craving for connection right now? Millions and millions, if not billions, in the planet. And that's our mission, yours and mine, is to bring that connection to these people who are, unfortunately unconnected. And just to help them realize that this infinite power that they have inside of them can help others. Never underestimate your stories, your history. Never underestimate that, because that's the source of the way that you can help others moving forward. There's always going to be people out there that will only resonate to your message and to your message alone. Not to mine, not to Gigi's, but to yours. That's why I always tell everybody, although I've been in sales and business development my entire life, I always tell everybody, you will never run out of leads, ever. There will always be clients for you. Always. I remember making jokes with my sales force. At some point they had, we had literally a very large sales force, most of the 150 people I told you before. And I always told them, some in the sales courses, some newcomers, new salespeople would say, "Hey, Angel, and if we run out of leads from this list that my sales manager has given me, what would be your piece of advice?" And then I would always look at them with this inquisitive, eyesight, right? Are you really? Do you really think you're going to end? You will like run out of leads? Whenever you run out of leads, or your manager cannot provide you with more leads, I guarantee you I will always have a list of 1,000 plus leads, new leads, new leads for you. Because it's not a matter of how many, it's a matter of the quality of those leads. It's a matter of what can you do with those leads. How many genuine relationships you develop with all these people in this list of leads, so that you can really start helping them somehow. And don't start from a place of, dumping all your value, all your pitch. No, I mean, that's my experience, with all due respect to all sales managers, sales VPs, regional directors, or CEOs. I think that creating the relationship with these, potential future clients is the number one thing that we should be focusing on while being authentic in any sales call.
Very powerful. Now, Angel, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
That's a great question. Let me start by the happiness part of your question, because I think, happiness is, let me be a little bit disruptive, with your permission, Gigi. I think that happiness is like boredom. I really think it comes from inside, right? So it's you who really decides if you are going to be happy or if you are going to be, bored. I think at the end of the day, it's a decision. I honestly think so, with all due respect to everybody, because I know that a lot of people are having a hard time finding their way to happiness. I think that we rely too much in the past, and we rely too much in the future, and we live less the present moment. And that's a big source of unhappiness and a big source of boredom, right? Even with our kids, for those of you that still have young kids, how many are able to stay for, let's say, for one whole day without their cell phone or any electronic or TV or whatever, or iPad or whatever, anything? It's difficult, because we are bringing them, we're raising them with electronics all over the place, which is a source of distraction. So that's one thing. But about living with purpose, number one, I believe that everybody has a purpose. But at the same time, I don't think that necessarily we are going to discover it or to be very clear about, what our purpose is in our lives. I remember when I went to a retreat a few years ago. I went to a retreat in Maui, and one of the students, we went to a retreat with a very famous reality creation coach, and that person flew all the way from Germany, and he was really concerned about, his life purpose. And I remember him. He flew all the way from Germany because he really wanted to know his life purpose. Then, if you realize, when you are so pushing to know something, to see something that you're not seeing, you actually create resistance. And I believe that in order to discover something which is so much inside of you as your life purpose, you actually have to release that resistance, and you have to allow your life to flow. And it's while you flow through your life, it's while you go through your life, that you will realize what your life purpose is. I think that your life purpose is in a zone that is in a zone which is very close to what you really like to do, to those things that you do with passion. Is really close to those things that you when you start doing them, suddenly time has gone by and you didn't realize it was 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, even the entire day. Oh my God, it's already gone. So I think this is one of the most important things to actually tap into that place inside of you. And then, but again, don't stress yourself trying to find it. Is it good to find your purpose? Of course. But guess what? While you think that you haven't found your purpose, why don't you just spend, using the example before, less time with electronic or any other distractions, and more time helping people that really need your help? Because there's a lot of things that you can do. Just do that. And again, even though right now there's billions of people suffering, billions of people in fear, in pain, unconnected, you still can get out of your own, path and help someone else. Go reach out, knock at the door of one of your neighbors that you haven't seen for a while, and ask them, hey, how is it going? How has the last, 14 to 16 months gone? Is there anything I can do for you? Do you need anything? So there's so much we can do easily, just if we, temporarily get out of our way. And I really believe is that doing something which was not planned, like embracing some unknown in your daily life, is how you can really meet with those things that make you be passionate, and those things that might be your life purpose. And once you find it, which is the next question, once you find your life purpose, systematically devote time to it. And you will start seeing, ways to even make a living out of your passion and your life purpose. Start living out of it, because you can really do it. The beauty is, it sounds really, and I apologize if I'm, I'm hurting someone saying this, but the beauty of all this suffering right now is that there's so many people that need help, so many people that need help. And you don't think about it, right? But even people in large corporations, there's a lot of people out there that are suffering, a lot, plenty. The people that you last suspect that might be suffering and might be some sort of issues, they right now are suffering and they are in pain and they have uncertainty in their lives and they don't know what's going to happen in the future. And uncertainty is a source of anxiety. And again, I am a very positive guy. I'm just trying to say that if we were able to tap every one of us into our life purpose, we could help so many that right now are suffering in such an easy way. We are going back much stronger. Really, I see this. You are going back, out of this pandemic. We're going back so much stronger, valuing so much more the human relationships, really so much more. So just, make some time to think about this and start taking action, start doing things for the others that you haven't done in a while, maybe because of everything that's going on in the world and the current state of affairs. Gigi.
Very powerful and great advice, Angel. Now, where can the audience find you?
Thank you. Yeah, the easiest way to find me, well, if you Google me, it's easy to find me online, Angel RIBO, but I would say that the easiest social media outlet is LinkedIn, the professional network. If you go there and you look for Angel RIBO, my last name is spelled RIBO for those that are going to listen to this instead of watching it. Again, Angel, ANGEL, RIBO, RIBO. And the CEO Confidant is my brand, as Gigi said in the beginning. If you want to send me an email, my direct email is angel, ANGEL, @angelribo.com, angel@angelribo.com. And either my team or myself, we answer all the emails, or you can send me a message on LinkedIn as well. And I always respond to all of them. And it would be obviously a pleasure to speak with you and help you with anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Angel on LinkedIn and also his email he just provided you all with. And his website, that's ANGEL @angel, ANGELRIBO.com, RIBO.com. And Angel, thank you again for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a great day.
Absolutely. And you too. Thank you for having me. And thank you, everybody listening to us today.